get back last weekend and to get back and play your old team after battling some injuries there for a while?
Yeah, I think, well, first and foremost, it was just nice to get back on the ice. I'd been out for a little over a month now, so it was just good to get into games again. Obviously, it was a really big weekend for our team, so those wins were huge for both conference and the morale of the group. And yeah, I guess obviously for me with playing St. Cloud, it was like somewhat big weekend, but I guess it's just their hockey games. They all count the same for us in the conference, and we just knew we needed 2 wins. So.
Did it mean a lot? I know you guys have been searching for wins, but for you personally, did it mean a lot to get those wins over the Huskies?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely felt good. I mean, there's a lot of people over there I have a lot of love for, so I guess just really and truly, the wins just felt good just because our group needed them. I wouldn't say there was any extra, I needed to win because it was St. Cloud, I guess. It's just this group really needed those wins.
What were the injuries you were battling?
Just some lower body stuff with my ankle.
Okay.
Just been going through it for a while, but it's slowly getting better. So.
Yeah, I think guys are joking old man injuries.
Yeah, classic, I'm sure.
Joe, take us through your leadership philosophy on the bench. We hear a lot about the leadership you bring to this team on the bench on game day.
I think it's just being myself, really. I'm a pretty calm, nonchalant guy. I think in hockey there's a lot of chaos, especially in games and teams with younger guys. There's a lot of ups and downs, but I think for me and what's important for this group is just having somebody that can kind of level that out, bring it more to kind of more as close to a flat line as we can, not getting too high, not getting too low. So, yeah, I just think it's trying to keep the bench even keel, not getting too high, not getting too low, those types of things, and just doing my best to lead by example on the ice as well. So, yeah.
What did you see, feel, experience on Joey's goal? You were the one that was right at the front of the net there. And I would say, safe to say, probably the subject of the 3.5-minute goaltender interference review.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, no, Smitty made a really nice play. We talk a lot about getting to the middle of the ice. Smitty cut to the middle. I was just driving, kind of finishing my route through. We talk about finishing through the blue paint, and that's kind of where I finished. You try and stay away from getting interference, but it's obviously that stuff happens really quick. So I didn't think I interfered with him. I thought I just kind of hit the puck off his pad, and my stick was just there. I didn't think I had any. I didn't think I influenced the outcome of the goal based on moving the goalie. So, yeah, I don't know. Joey followed the play up really well. Puck was laying there nice and pretty for him, so he obviously put it right in the back. It was good to see Joey get that.
As we're approaching 4 minutes on this delay, what are you thinking? Are you trying to think in your mind, maybe I did get him a little bit?
Yeah. There are some long delays. I've been in the conference for a while. We're not. Yeah, they've happened. So, kind of used to it. Really, personally, I didn't feel like I interfered with him. It all happened so fast. I don't know, and when you break it down frame by frame, you can see something different than what actually happened. And so, was just kind of hopeful that that was going to stand well. One for our team, but two because it was really fun to see Joey get his first.
What was it like seeing the bench react the way it did when that puck went in the net?
Yeah, I think, Joey, he's a guy who, every day leading by example, not the loudest guy, but just, a guy everybody wants to follow, everybody loves. And I actually had no idea he hadn't scored before, so I didn't know that. Guy gets a lot of chances, so I kind of figured he had a few, but it was good to see him break through. And then I actually didn't know it was first until I heard it over the loudspeaker. So, yeah, just really happy for Joe. Really a heart and soul glue guy for this team, and just really cool to see him get that.
Colorado College this weekend. Again, you know this league well, you know this team well, and not a whole lot's changed there. They've got a few new faces, but they play the same way. Thoughts on the trip out there this week? It's one of our longest travel days of the year, and match up the Tigers.
Yeah, much like any team in our conference, they're going to play really hard. We know they've got a lot of skill. They've had some really good years the last couple, and we just what we can do right now is just keep focusing on building our group. The way we play isn't going to change much based on who we're playing, right? It's just we got to keep sticking to the stuff Sandy, the rest of the staff are preaching, and keep hoping that and trusting that is going to bring us the outcomes we want.
How do you make sure to bottle up everything that happened this weekend, able to repeat it out in Colorado College this weekend? You guys not being at home, but being away, which first half has had more success.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, really for us, it's like, it was really good for our guys to see, what putting a weekend like that does. It's tough, and when you have like so many younger guys, you'll have, flashes, especially in the first half. We had a lot of flashes of being really good, but just some breakdowns that really costed us. And I think what we saw with St. Cloud, like we really limited those breakdowns, and we played as close to 60 minutes as we could of like the hockey we want to play. And I think ultimately to just bottle that weekend up is just really understanding and learning from what we did, and finding a way to repeat that. And again, that's part of the year is growing, and the rest of the way is not going to be perfect, but this group, like, that was a huge step, and I think a lot of guys are starting to see it, and hopefully we can just continue that.
What is the conversation like with the younger guys or your entire team to say, hey, wasn't St. Cloud having an off weekend, like we did that to them?
Yeah, I think the group knows that. Like, obviously St. Cloud's one of the better teams in the country, and we felt like we outplayed them for the whole weekend, really. And I think the guys really felt that, and it wasn't like we left the weekend thinking more highly of ourselves than down on St. Cloud. Does that make sense? Like, we were just really happy to finally put everything we've been working towards together, and just to continue and hopefully keep doing that. Yeah, of course. For sure.
Krause, how different does it feel this week getting the big, home sweep of St. Cloud? This one I think probably feels different than maybe the past of a Stonehill or Miami.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, St. Cloud's a team we're very familiar with. Hard team to beat, very well coached. Obviously, they do what they do for a reason. Take any win, but obviously against a rivalry like that, with a team like that, it gives you a little bit of a sense of confidence.
What's the key to maintaining this? I mean, we kind of saw it after New Year's there. You get the big win, play really well against Bemidji, and then struggle in a game against Alaska. You run into a hot goal the next night. How do you now, you put together 2 good games on one weekend. How do you maybe make it 2 good weekends?
Yeah, we'll see, I guess. I mean, this is all seems like a team like ours right now. We're all kind of learning as we go and, learning to react to successes and failures and maybe games we should have won or maybe games that we didn't show up. So another new challenge and just keep focusing on the process. Obviously, there's been results this year that we haven't liked at the end of the game, but we've played, we feel like, a good enough game to win. But now we have a new challenge to come back after winning 2 games that are important for us, not only confidence-wise, but in our league. So we'll see how we react, but exciting so far this week. Guys have seemed to be reacting appropriately.
How important is it to have a guy like Joe Molinar, not just back on the ice, but on the bench? What do you kind of observe of him on game days?
Yeah, I think obviously, Max and Adam being out was talked a lot about, obviously for good reason, but Joe was probably one guy that we missed just as much in terms of that, that experience playing in games like the St. Cloud weekend. I know obviously it was personal for him, obviously being in St. Cloud and having a good experience there, but having his presence when you're up 3-0, goes to 3-on-2, having a guy like on your bench like that really calms things down.
What did you see on Joey Pierce's first goal there that led to almost a 4-minute goaltender interference for you?
Yeah, I mean, shocked it probably took that long after I saw the video. Really happy for Joe. Coming out of the penalty box, we were kind of laughing if it was a forward goal or a defenseman's goal. So he said it was a forward's goal. So it was good. Obviously, guys, the reaction on the bench, I don't know if you guys saw it, but speaks volumes about how our guys feel about Joe. And I think really surprised. Actually, that's his first goal with how much impact he has on the game. So really happy for him. Really excited, and it was a big goal for our team.
We've been through it. Joe Molinar mentioned this when he was up here. We've been through a lot of these in this league. We had a 6-summit review at Western last year. We've had a few in the 4s. So you've been through this on the bench, but as this is going on, and maybe you haven't had the best look at it, I can't really show on the big board during that review, but what are you thinking? Because you haven't necessarily had a chance to sit and look at it the way you had a chance to afterward.
Yeah, I think in the moment I was fairly surprised, and just having that conversation with Joe on the bench is saying that physically he didn't really hit the goalie, and it was a lot of his blade maybe as the puck was hitting his blade. So just from watching the play, maybe what they showed on the big screen, a little bit of a confusion of why that play was reviewed so long, but just an area of the game right now, there's a lot of gray area with the goalie interference and allowing to play the position, but also still playing our game, the way it was intended to be played. So, but everyone's still ironing out what that goalie interference means, and hopefully that consistency comes along with it when it comes to challenges and making sure that we're challenging the right plays and understanding the rule as best we can so we can make good judgment calls on that.
What kind of level have you seen out of Clayton Napier in these 5 straight starts that he's had since the break?
Yeah, I think he's a guy it's always valuable when you're relied upon in the past. I think he's a guy that's been relied upon. I think a guy that, works every day, competes in the net. So, from a coaching staff perspective that sees him during the week, we're not surprised he took this opportunity and ran with it. And really excited, his intensity level. Again, if you ask Brant, none of those games have been perfect, but there's a compete there that have allowed him to have success. And, our team's playing better in front of him too. And so we're really excited about that. It just creates competition in that position. Very important in any position to have that competition, and just gets everyone to be at their best.
How have you seen this team evolve in terms of its defensive structure, especially in the last month and a half?
Well, I think it's reflective of confidence. I think a lot of things that we see is structurally, I think we've been fairly consistent, to be to be quite honest, I think the individual one-on-one plays have improved game to game, playing more confidence. We're ending plays quicker, but structurally, I thought it's been pretty consistent over the year. It's how quickly are we ending that play, and I think something that we're continuing to move the needle on, and it seems like when we stress that, we've had success that way. So just continuing to raise our intensity, having young guys be confident to go after plays, attack plays, and if they make a mistake, what your reaction is going to be, and making sure we're putting the focus on the reaction, not just maybe failing in a play where you're going too aggressive. So I just learning to be aggressive in our structure is going to be important moving forward.
Colorado College has an incredible goaltender that you faced a number of times in Caden Barrico, but it seems like, I think I had the stat last week, their offense seems to have dried up here as of late. How do what are the keys here in trying to find ways to get to this goaltender? If you give them something, they're going to find a way to take it.
Well, the biggest key for our team is to ignore the recent results that team's had. I think two scariest teams are confident teams and desperate teams, and I think a team like that isn't probably pleased with the results, with that kind of personnel on the team, back at home, with guys that have had success in this league, with a goaltender like that, lines up, in my experience, for an incredibly tough test for our team. And so two teams that one team wants to end what's going on, and one team wants to continue what's going on. So just like any team in this league, it's going to be an incredible test, and we have to bring our best to have a chance.
How different is the atmosphere in that building versus the one that you played in out there?
Yeah, it's a beautiful rink, and again, we're so fortunate to play in all these really nice rinks, and just the way the seats are so high, I think it just feels like they're right on top of you. And in the recent success of the program, they've done an unbelievable job getting it back to a place where people seem very excited to be there. And so obviously, when I played there, it was the rink was too big, and I think the seats were purple. They weren't having maybe the success they're having now, so it was a little bit of a different environment. So just another good experience for our guys to go in and play in a good environment against a good team and try to become a better hockey team.
Do you like the contrast and setup of playing at home, having success? You guys have had so much success on the first half really on the road rather than being at home, and that's where you guys are.
Yeah, I think it seems like we haven't been on the road too much this year, but I think anytime you can kind of get away and focus just on the game. Sometimes the distractions of being home, sometimes our challenge. I just think our young guys have learned to separate some things when you're playing at home, of making sure you're keeping the focus on the game and not too much of what's going on around you. But it'll be exciting to get on the road and not be the team everyone's cheering for, which is sometimes guys lean into that and you can have more success.
Ask Joe this, and I'll ask you as well, Adam, that a lot of times after you beat a ranked team, you say, oh, they just had a bad night, to make sure that your team understands that we did that to think about to make sure that we came on top.
Yeah, I think that's, they probably maybe wanted to fix some things that they did or didn't do, but they have to know we had success because of these things that we did as well. And I just think making sure they're showing in video or continuing to talk about. But, I thought, again, we did some things to win those hockey games as well as we have in this year. And so to have that confidence, it wasn't just maybe them being an off night. We thought that we did some things to help our cause and win that hockey game.
Were there certain things that stick out in your head that we really broke through in that capacity?
I think simplifying probably in some things and making sure the puck moves north and zone to zone to zone. It seemed like a little bit more consistency. I think it kept us in a rhythm of the game that maybe we've gotten out of because of maybe some frustration or maybe lack of scoring, where you try to turn into individual players or individual plays instead of playing that team game. So I just thought it was good, especially when there's some ebbs and flows, 3-0 to 3-2. I didn't feel like we wavered in what we were trying to do. I think that was the biggest thing that I saw in growth in our team, that maybe in those positions we haven't reacted the right way, but we stayed course, we took a step back and just kept moving forward and doing those things and got the rhythm back, probably more so in the last few games that were like that. Tried to force some things, and it kept the rhythm in the other team's hands. So really proud of our group to stick with it, believe in what we were doing, knowing those teams aren't going to go away. And so, again, it's just good to add to our confidence. it's been pretty light this year. So we haven't had a ton of bodies, so we're trying to give the guys rest. But I think today we're going to have to try to get one in.
Chemistry between Chopper and Brandon here too.
Yeah. So we're still trying to figure out who the other freshmen are that we need to bring on our team. So there's been a little bit of a rotation, but confident we'll find one. So. All good? Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.